Yeah, so we are live.
Uh, Hello.
Let's wait for 2 to 3 minutes that people join.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's start. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Ramakrishna, Technical Lead at MSC Pilani. Today we are with Kartikay Bhutani. He is 2019 GSoCer and currently he is a mentor in GSoC program. So, thank you, Kartikay, for joining with us today.
Hello everyone. Thanks for inviting me. I am Kartikay Bhutani. I am a final year student in GIT Noida. I work as a full stack developer, and I have also done GSoC in 2019, and also the mentor for the same organization now. And yeah, so I contribute to the same organization.
That
That's
was Python Foundation.
Yeah, Python Software Foundation is the organization, but my organization is the comes under the sub-organization that's EOS Design System.
So, first is what is exactly GSoC? Because there are sometimes confusion. Open source, GSoC, and
So first of all, I'll tell what GSoC is not. It is not an internship. It's an open source program or a scholarship program, you can say, which is sponsored by Google to promote open source development. So every year there are a lot of organizations that take part into it, and Google just basically pays the student to work under that open source project. So it's not like you are, a part of uh, Google or anything. You cannot write that, but it's just an open source program that is sponsored by Google.
so what are the procedures? How can we apply? And what are the eligibility criteria?
Yeah, so eligibility criteria till now was that you should be 18 years old at least, and you should be a
Okay.
college student. But this year a lot of changes came, and they have removed this criteria of being a college student. Now, if you are into any coding school or even those people who have done something like BSc and uh, planning to do masters, but there is the education gap between them, they can also
Yeah,
apply.
yeah.
So
Okay.
this eligibility criteria has changed now, and as far as the procedure is concerned, the it starts basically uh, how it works is like someone has to join an organization before, and the organization apply in January, and the shortlisted organizations are out in around February end, and the application for students start in March, mid March till April, and yeah, so and the list of selected students come in May. So, but it how it generally is like a student has to already has to have some contributions done in the open source. So students generally join, before earlier before the year, like in October or November, or even before some students
Okay.
even join earlier. So that's how it is.
Is it important to contribute before the program, like when an organization period is going on? Then also we can contribute,
Yeah, then
like in
also
Jan.
you can contribute, but there is no hard and fast rule that you should have contribution before, but it is something which has been going on. Every student apply before applying they have some contribution. So uh,
Yes. There's some network problem, I think. So,
hello,
yeah,
yeah, sorry for that some problem occurred.
no problem,
So
no problem.
yeah, so where we
We were at eligibility and after GSoC.
yeah, so yeah, there is no exact rule that you should have in contribution before applying, but all of the students have some contribution, and if you are someone that you totally have zero contribution, so obviously your chances of selecting are very less.
So, how to select organization? This is a very some difficult task. Some people have had.
Yeah, so if you are someone who already has some experience with coding, and you know your tech set, so the first uh, advice I would give is to select based on your skills. But if you are a total beginner, like you don't have any experience and you even have to learn these skills, so I would suggest going shortlisting three organizations at first, and based on your
Okay,
interest. Obviously, like if you love web development, so go for uh, organization that work on projects with web development, maybe Mozilla or something like that. But
okay,
so just select three organizations based on your interest, and after a month of just communicating with the mentors and all, you'll uh, automatically get to know the, like, this is the organization I'm liking. Then don't start contributing yet. Take it slow. So
okay,
just the for the first month, just select the organization you will be focusing on, at least two, because sometimes it happens that some organization is not selected by Google. So after 1 month, when you have decided the organization, then start understanding their code base and picking up small issues.
Okay.
Uh, so there are beginner friendly issues they have tagged in the GitHub or GitLab wherever the project is. So you can start picking the smaller issues and you will start getting into the flow and things will go.
There's one question from Mayank. What happened after getting into program? Like what we do or just sign something?
So basically, whenever you apply for a project like uh, 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 let say you are applying for a project that has to add a chat feature in Facebook. So let's say Facebook is an
Mm-hmm.
organization, you are applying to add chat feature in Facebook. So when you are applying, you in the proposal you mention your whole timeline for the 2 or 3 months. Like earlier, it used to be 2 months, 3 months, but now the period has also been shortened. So whatever the time period is, you make a timeline and define like this week I am gonna do this, do the front end part, and this week I'm connecting it with the back end or whatever. So you have to work based on that timeline. So they obviously assign you something, but it's not like they will assign you some random stuff. It is already been decided. Like we will be working on this timeline, and that's how we will roll out the features.
How can we judge that this organization will come this year also, or like how to select and contribute before the program, before selection of organizations?
Most of the organizations are same that has been participating in GSoC for a lot of years. So yeah, a lot of organizations participate every year, but the competition is also really high in those organizations. But uh, there's not anything that can be a sure thing that this organization will totally be part of it. But uh, if you talk with the mentors, and the organization is good enough and the project is good enough, there are chances that Google will be selecting it. So it's not
Okay,
really
so
something that you can be sure of. But the organization that participate every year are pretty much sure that they will be selected again.
how can we make a good proposal? Actually, like if, for example, I know only CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and
Hmm.
if there is a need of React, then should I research on that and then I make a proposal, or just means how to make a proposal?
Yeah, proposal actually depends on uh, organization to organization and project to project, but there are some things that are common in every proposal. Like a timeline is needed very much, and if you are like yeah, if the project is on React as you are saying, then you should be having at least some contributions made in that React part, and you have to mention the contribution to, like, this pull request for this issue I have done made the organization. And if you have not contributed that part, then I would suggest uh, adding your personal project or anything to show that you at least have
Okay,
some experience in that area.
okay, okay. There is one question from Mayank. What kind of work did you do?
Sorry.
What kind of work you did
Okay, so
while
my
you are in?
project was kind of full stack, backend and front end both. So if you if you are familiar with fonts like Arial or whatever, so there is a thing iconic fonts. So what it is like, whenever you, let's say, you type your name and you select a font Arial, so the style changes of every letter. So what iconic fonts are, like if I type alarm and I change to the my iconic font, it will be changed to the icon instead of text. It will be changed to icon. So my project was to make a icon sticker where people can select icons in the front end, and in the back end it will make an iconic font from the svg file, images file of the icon. So yeah.
Uh, how was your experience while you were in a student, and what different in your mentorship?
uh, as a student I would say, like we always overhype things, and we feel like these things are a lot tough, and something like I can't really do. But when when you are on the other side, and when you have reached that level and learned something, you actually feel like it was not that tough. You're being consistent and focusing on learning, it wasn't that tough. And also, being a mentor, I really love helping students, and uh, helping with them with the project. And I just yeah, just hello.
So, what you say while selecting candidates for GSoC as a mentor? What you want in proposal?
Actually, there's some internet problem. Oh,
Hmm.
hello.
Hello, hello. Yeah, you are audible.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. So someone is asking what were the kind of projects, like mostly development related, every tech field. Okay, so the projects are mostly tech related because it is a coding, program. But some organization have, a part of the project is design related too. Like if there is a front end project, they might ask you to, make a user interface or some designs or mock-up for that. So yeah, the coding part would be there, but there can be some design part or research part also.
There's one interesting question. What if we stuck somewhere in middle?
Okay, so your mentors are always there to help you. Uh,
Okay.
so if you are stuck, you can, most of the organization have weekly meetings and with the students, and if you are stuck, you they are always there to help you. So it's not like you have to, fix and build things on your own. The your mentor will help you a lot.
There are some changes in GSoC. What are those changes
Yeah,
in this
so
year?
yeah, those so the first change is like the project time is cut into half. Earlier, it
Okay.
used to be 350 hours, like in the total period of 3 or 2.5 months, you have to spend 350 hours on the project, but now it is
Okay.
going to be 175. And the second change would be like the stipend is cut into half, which earlier it used to be $3,000, but now it is going to be $1,500. And
Okay.
the so yeah, and the but the as I said, the time is cut into half, but the coding period almost remains the same. Earlier it used to be 12 weeks, but now it is going to be 10 weeks. So it is only cut by 2 weeks, uh, which also means like the duration is almost same, but the amount of time you give to the project per day is very much shortened. And
Mm,
yeah, the evaluations would be two now instead of three. Earlier there used to be three evaluation: first, second, and final. But now there are going to be only two: mid evaluation and final evaluation. And the last change is with the eligibility criteria, which we have already discussed before.
yeah. So there's one question from Saurabh. What would be the strategy for beginner who have basic and web dev knowledge?
So, if you have basic web dev knowledge, I would suggest, uh, build some projects first of all, good projects to, get a good experience. And then, as I told before, like select two or three organizations, and just join the chat channels, communication channels of that organization that are usually on Slack, Twitter, or whatever they use. Join the channels, and just introduce yourself, and talk with the mentors, ask them where you can start. And after 15 days to or 1 month, you can, when you have read the code base, and you have started to understand the things, how they uh, code functions, how things work in an organization, you can start picking up small issues, beginner-friendly issues. They already will be having some issues that are flagged beginner-friendly in the GitHub or their flag. So you can start picking up those issues, or you can even start raising of your own. I started by raising my own issue in the organization. So my mine was also related to web development. My issue was that my first issue was that there was no error 404 page in the website of that our organization. So I first raised that issue, and then I started working on that issue and made pull request. So that's two contributions. So that's how you start, and just keep contributing.
So because of COVID, things have changed. So what do you see in proposals in this year as a mentor? Why would you select that candidate? What do you see in that candidate?
What I feel is like this year, maybe mentors will be, uh, preferring students that have already have some experience and have contributed, because as I said, the time is reduced to half. So obviously, you cannot select someone who only have to spend a lot of time in teaching, and telling them how
Yeah.
to do stuff. So obviously, there are some changes, and I feel I feel that organization would be getting students that already have some good contribution and some experience. So yeah, that's definitely one of the reasons.
Okay. So what are the benefits of being a part of GSoC? Like how your life has changed after that?
So
What new?
yeah, so you get to be with good people that have achieved a lot in their life. Like my organization, I met my mentors, or senior devs. Uh, they are really some good people that have done a lot in their life, and you get to learn from them, and you build some good contacts. And obviously there is a benefit when applying to jobs or internships, or even recruiters reach out to you on LinkedIn, because they see that you have already worked in some project that is somewhat related to like uh, working with a good in a good code base. And like I don't know how to say this, but like when you work in a job, there is a you know you work in a code that is affecting a lot of people, and the code is
Yeah,
not
people
convincing.
are using
It,
that and you are
yeah,
contributing to
yeah. So it tells a lot that you know how to debug the code, and you know how to write unit test, and a lot. It tells us a lot of things. So yeah.
that. There is one question from Aniket. Should we understand the whole code and then we contribute or in chunks?
No, you don't have to understand the whole code. Even I don't know some part of the code myself, but you just need to know the module or part you are working on. Like like I said, I made a 404 page, so I just need to know the part where that is related to the uh, module I am working on. So you don't have to know everything, but a good knowledge of just what you are working on is fine.
Are there any suggestions or guidance special for GSoC 2021?
Yeah, for 2021, I would say like join as early as you can, because there are a lot of changes, and even we don't know how it would turn out to be, because it's also the first time for us, with these
Yeah.
many changes. So it's join as early as you can, make as much contribution as you can, so that you have always have an edge over the other, because we really don't know how it might turn out to be. So yeah, that would be it.
Are there any doubts are there? So you can ask. Okay, as there are no doubts or questions of people. Okay, let's end the session. Thank you, Kartikay, for being with us. It was
Okay,
very
thank you.
interesting.
Thanks for inviting.